So I'm going to get started by drawing a non-right triangle. It doesn't need to be drawn to scale. And now I'm going to put in what I know. I know that we don't know angle A at this point. We know angle B is 78.5 degrees. Angle C is 48.7 degrees. Now I know the interior angles of a triangle have to add up to 180. So if I take 180 and I go ahead and I subtract 78.5 and I also subtract 48.7, I end up with 52.8. So angle A is 52.8. Now we want to solve each of these. So we want to know what is angle A, which is the capital, angle B, and angle C. Write those in. 78.5, don't forget the degrees, 48.7, and 52.8. Okay, then the little a, little b, and little c represent the sides directly opposite of each of these. Now we're told up above that side A is 6.2. Side A is 6.2. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to highlight what I was given in the problem. I was given this information and this information and this information. So if I think of this as a clock and I go clockwise, I have an angle, a side, and an angle. An angle, side, and angle. If you look back to your notes, we're told that when we have an angle, side, angle, or two angles and any side, that we can use the law of sines to go ahead and solve this. So let's get started. Sine of 52.8 degrees over side A is equal to sine of 78.5 degrees over side B. Okay, so let's cross multiply. Sine of 52.8 times B, I'm going to put it out front, is going to be set equal to 6.2 times the sine of 78.5. Now to isolate the B, we're going to go ahead and divide by the sine of 52.8. Okay, first important thing to do is go up to mode and make sure you're in degrees. How do we plug this into our calculator? We're going to take 6.2 times the sine of let's go 78.5, get an answer, and then divide it by the sine of 52.8. Okay, so notice that I'm going to have to round here, and I'm going to round two decimal places. So I'm going to use this approximation symbol. This is approximately 7.63. So a lot of students, when they're going to go about finding our last remaining side, sometimes they ask, can I use the Pythagorean theorem? That can only be used with the right triangle, and this clearly does not have any angle that's 90 degrees or a right triangle. And so the other question I get asked is, they know they're going to set it up by sine of 48.7 degrees over side C, and then they ask, do I use A or do I use B? And so we always want to use given information, not information that we found that is rounded. And so we're going to set this equal to the sine of 52.8 degrees over 6.2. And in the same fashion I did this, I'm going to cross multiply. So 6.2 times sine of 48.7 degrees is equal to C times sine of 52.8. And now to isolate the C, I'm going to divide by the sine of 52.8. Okay, grabbing the calculator, here we go. So we're going to take 6.2 times the sine of 48.7. I'm going to press equals, get an answer, and then divide it by the sine of 52.8. And so I can come back up here, and this is approximation because I'm having to round. It's not a terminal decimal, so 5.85. Let's look at number 2.